From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White. A 10-day ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon has taken effect.
President Trump says Israel and Lebanon have agreed to a 10-day truce, which could boost efforts to extend the Iran war ceasefire. Israel is not fighting with Lebanon itself, but rather the Iranian-backed Hezbollah inside Lebanon. Still,
it's very exciting. I think we're going to have a deal.
The president's invited both nations' leaders to the White House for what he says would be the first meaningful talks between them in 43 years, after delegations met earlier this week in Washington. Israeli leader Benjamin Netanyahu says it's a chance for a historic peace. Tehran has included ending the war in Lebanon as a condition of its talks with Washington over ending the Iran war. Sagar Magani, Washington.
Canada Post says work to convert about 4 million addresses to community mailboxes is expected to take about 5 years. The Crown Corporation says it's starting discussions with 13 communities about converting to the community mailboxes late this year or early next year. Federal Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has blasted the Liberal economic record in a speech to the Canadian Club. He tells the Toronto business crowd a majority government now means Prime Minister Mark Carney has no excuse for not delivering on his economic promises.
It's time to admit it. We're in an entrepreneurial drought. High costs, red tape, labor challenges, and never-ending uncertainty discouraging the next generation of entrepreneurs stands in the way.
The Conservative leader largely repeated his pledges to cut taxes and regulations. Canada's Privacy Commissioner says the country needs stronger data sharing laws as Ottawa opens up the market to Chinese electric vehicles. Philippe Dufresne told a parliamentary committee today Canada lacks a cross-border data transfer rule regime as rigorous as Quebec or Europe. Canada's recent deal with China to dramatically lower tariffs on 49,000 EVs from that country per year has raised concerns about data privacy and surveillance. Americans are leading the spike in applications for Canadian citizenship by descent. Interest from people in a handful of countries has surged after the federal government recently passed a new law clarifying the rules. Canadian Jeremy Hansen and the other crew members of Artemis II held their first post-moon trip news conference today. Commander Reid Wiseman thanked the people responsible for building their space capsule, and he thanked his crewmates.
What an amazing journey that was. First and foremost, Victor, Christina, Jeremy, just thank you. This was an unbelievable adventure.
Hansen says the mission left him with a powerful sense of his connection to all of humanity. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the CFL has suspended Canadian receiver Ajo for the 2026 preseason and no fewer than 6 regular season games. He'd already been released by the Saskatchewan Roughriders for violating the league's gender-based violence policy. The Toronto Blue Jays fell 2-1 in an afternoon game against the Milwaukee Brewers. The Jays next begin a 3-game series in Arizona tomorrow. The Edmonton Oilers look to cement second in the Pacific Division tonight when they host the last-place Vancouver Canucks on the final night of the NHL regular season. Elsewhere, Winnipeg visits San Jose. And the Toronto Maple Leafs could do nothing but acknowledge their shortcomings this season. Captain Austin Matthews says the team fell short of its own expectations.
That's on me. That's on us as players. We're the ones that, have to go out there and compete.
Toronto missed the NHL postseason, finishing last in the Atlantic, just 1 year after taking the division crown. From the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.